Form here, so we'll move off the message and answer any questions you might have about my sport. Obviously, you were taught, I was told here about hockey a little while ago. I don't know if you know anything about it. You want to ask about my job, what I do, what my day is like. You want to ask me anything at all about the Devils, about hockey, the National Hockey League, radio or television. I worked in television for many years. Let's get some questions. Raise your hand and we'll come around. Yep. What is my job like?
Please be respectful of others' questions.
The question is, what is my job like? Well, what I do is I describe the action that is taking place on our ice surface. The ice surface that we play on is 200 feet in length, so not quite as long as a football field. It's 85 feet wide. Players can skate at 30 miles an hour, not all the time, but they can go that quickly. There's a round rubber object we call a puck. It's frozen rubber. It's kept in a freezer until it's used in the game. And it can be shot with a stick on goal at over 100 miles an hour. So it's a fast-moving physical game. What takes place on that ice surface? Not everyone can be in the building to see. As I said, we do play 41 games at home, but we're on the road a lot. Fans can't travel all the time, so they may be in their car or at home and somebody else is watching the game on TV, and they'll put the radio on, and I describe to them what you are seeing. Who has control of that puck? Who's winning the game? How much time is left? And that's what I do. I describe it to our fans, hopefully in an entertaining way. Yep. Right now, how do I like being with my partner? I will tell you, it was not easy at first, because I would personally prefer a player. Someone who was on that ice surface, who played the game, who can express to our listening audience what it's like in an intense moment, a critical moment, where the game is on the line. The truth of the matter is, though, in my first year doing this, and I just completed my 5th year on radio, like I said, I was in television before that, I did have a former player. And he wasn't prepared. And he wasn't very interested, quite frankly. And he didn't have a way with words, so he had difficulty expressing what just took place in a way that our audience could understand. So Sherry Ross came in, and while, as I said, there's a part of me that would prefer that player, because I think he can add that little bit of expertise that's missing from her resume, if you will, from what she can do. She's done a fantastic job, and I really do enjoy working with her. Because she's prepared, she works hard, she's willing to have some fun, she understands that it's a game, but she also understands the game itself. She's covered it for a long time. So it's been a lot of fun. Initially I thought, I'd rather have a player, but after having a player who didn't work out, I'm much happier that I have a woman. Yeah, follow up? Yeah. Oh, how did I get along with that former player? Well, we got along well. I was frustrated, though, that he wasn't prepared. Remember, just like in any sport or any team that you belong to or any organization you might belong to, or if you're just playing with some friends in a playground in the street, you depend on the other person to help you out. If you're playing 2-on-2 basketball, right? You're working to get open, and that girl's not passing you the ball, and you're like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm wide open. What is this all about? So as a broadcaster, I'm dependent on my partner to work hard like me so that we can blend together and present a good picture of what's going on and entertain our audience. So he didn't work hard, so after a while we didn't get along as much as we should. Yes, you. Why does the puck have to be frozen? That's a great point. The reason is we play on an ice surface, right? The ice surface, though, is not very thick, by the way. It's only about this thick. It's not like out in a pond or a lake, right? It's because it's on a concrete floor. They put water on the floor. They have pipes that run underneath the floor that they send a chemical through to freeze the water, to bring the temperature of the water down and freeze it. So you have this ice surface that if the puck wasn't frozen, believe it or not, it would start to drag a little bit on the ice because it's warm. It would start to melt the ice just a little bit, and that would slow things down. So by keeping it cold, as frozen as the ice, it slides a lot more, right? So that's why we have pucks are frozen. Yes? Yep, you.
Okay. Is this someone on your team who's like really good, like on the 2
Yes. By the way, that was a nice movie too. I liked it. My youngest son liked it too. Yes, we have stars on our team, as a matter of fact. Our best player, we just signed him last year to a contract, is a Russian by the name of Ilya Kovalchuk. And we also have a young American player who is very close, but not quite as good as Ilya. Ilya's a premier goal scorer. Zach Parisi is his name. He's 26 years old. He's from Minnesota, and he's a great guy. I love being around him. He's a lot of fun to be with. But yeah, we have stars like that. Martin Brodeur is our goalie. He's won not only championships in our league, he's won gold medals in the Olympics. So I would say we have several players like The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, right? Yes, good question. All right, we'll come back. Yes. Did I encourage my dad to start drinking? Sure. You know, there was a time when I was young, and you know, think about it yourself. At times it's a little difficult to go to your parents or guardian, right, and tell them really what you think. I mean, they are your parents, and a lot of times what they tell you is what you're going to do. So yeah, it was tough at a certain age. But then I got to the point where I felt that it was necessary to do. Unfortunately, as happens many times with people with addictions, he really wasn't interested in my opinion. But I felt that I at least had to tell him what I felt and how much I loved him and how I thought it would be important that he changed his life. But, you know, unfortunately, people who have addictions, whether it's drugs or alcohol or anything else, they have to find that path themselves sometimes. But I never stopped to give it up. Yep. Or never gave up, and I never stopped trying to help. Yes.
How many wins and losses?
The New Jersey Devils, how many? You know, that's a great question. I'm not, you know, I'll be honest with you. I had forgotten the season. It was so bad compared to some of the past seasons. But we were below 500, and I honestly, I don't know. We had about 33 or 35 wins this year, something like that, out of 81. You can also play, not to confuse you too much with some of the specialized rules here, but we had about 41, well, no. I had about 40, 41. Again, I have forgotten, I shouldn't, it's a great point that you raised by asking that question. I should have the record a little bit more on my mind. But no, we were not particularly good this year. Yeah?
So, every time you go to do that, change costumes.
Do I change costumes? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, our uniform colors, that's a great question. Our uniform colors are basically red, white, and black. And we wear those colors. We do change based on being on the road or at home. And of course, the players perspire a lot because they are really, really, really working hard. So they'll change their jerseys during the course of the game. We play 3 periods. Basketball has 4 quarters. Baseball plays 9 innings in the major leagues, right? We play 3 periods. They last 20 minutes. There are stops in the action that would make it a longer than 20-minute period, but we count down from 20 minutes. And we play 3 of those in between period 1 and 2, and in between period 2 and 3. The players go in, they'll change, they'll get something to drink, they'll talk to their coach. It's a break, and fans get a chance to go buy a hot dog or a soda, and that's when they'll change. Exactly. And then that's when they'll change their uniform. So yeah, they will change their uniforms or costumes on a regular basis.